everybody, welcome to Zelda Speedruns, broadcasting the Link to the Past NMG League Season 4. We got the Eastern Palace Division Round 3 for you today. It's Bread-kun versus Phi. Commentating for us is Foxlisk and Chex Human. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello, Fox. Looking
Hello,
forward
Chex.
to this race.
Me too.
So we've got Breb versus PH.
Breb, yes. Very good. What is that emote? It looks like is it a dog in a sombrero?
I don't recall. I believe I've seen it before. Welcome everyone to NMG League, by the way. We this season we are playing vanilla preset. What is a vanilla preset, Fox?
So, viewers of this channel are probably used to watching the randomizer, which is a ROM hack that randomizes where all the items are and sometimes other stuff. But that randomizer also does stuff besides just randomizing things. It most notably removes almost all of the text boxes in the game, and it also adds quick swap and a couple other smaller changes, including a slightly different rule set. And so we're playing basically with just those changes, the no text, the quick swap, etc. But all of the items have been placed into their vanilla locations, the locations they would be in the vanilla game.
Yeah, so it's like a real speedrun. We have text removed, which is the biggest change from the vanilla game, and that shortens the time by, I would say, almost 10 minutes. Then we have other things happening in the game that makes it a little shorter, like more allowed glitches.
Yeah, so most people's PBs in this are about 10 minutes faster than their PBs on vanilla. I would say around 8 minutes of that is from text. Most of the rest is from quick swap, and then a small amount is because of the glitches that you allude to being allowed in this category. Right. The icebreaker and the diver down.
Yeah, I forgot how significant it is to quick swap, and that is using L and R to change items. And yeah, that must cut out a minute or so.
Yeah, there's about 90 menus in the vanilla game, and they're each around a second, so it's around 90 seconds from quick swap, I think. But most people still do some menus in some places because it's a good way to do when timing is very tight and you don't have time to mash a bunch of L inputs, or when you're doing the hammer jump and you need to know exactly what pixel you're standing on. Menu can still be very valuable.
All right, another benefit of using the Rando ROM is we can choose an MSU pack of our choice. And this is, well, it is something we can do in the vanilla game as well, but especially for randomizer, our leaderboard allows it and races allow it. So we're hearing a sort of a modified Zelda remix on Bread-kun's side.
Yeah, I believe he said he's running the Legend of Zelda remade MSU, which I'm not a big MSU connoisseur, but I think it's just like reinterpretations of the original soundtrack. PH is using something crazy that I've never heard of, so maybe we'll get to hear that later, but I have no idea.
We can pick our sprites as well, like you mentioned. I know PH is Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah. From
the Nickelodeon cartoon show.
That was my favorite show when I was like 7 or whatever.
Yeah, it definitely... I found it, like, my first impression of it was that it was a Ren and Stimpy ripoff, but it really had its own voice.
Yeah, I think it was aimed significantly younger than Ren and Stimpy, but I never really watched Ren and Stimpy that much, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Regardless, our runners are approaching ball and chains, and they're both using the 8/ method.
Yeah. Both players have had just like very small hiccups here and there, like getting got by a guard or whatever. But they've mostly washed out so far, and they're still neck and neck. The ball and chain is the first place where it's like realistic for somebody to lose their mind and a huge lead to occur, but very rare and luckily did not happen today. Both players have Zelda. I'm pretty sure both players have the lamp. And neither player died. So we're all good.
We are all good. We won't see too much variance in escape, but there are points we'll watch out for, of course.
Yeah, we're coming up on the sewers. I don't know. Do we want to talk about pumping? Does anybody care about pumping anymore?
Let's not and say we did.
Okay. So we have been seeing the players pump, if you know what to look for. Both players going for it. Some players don't bother with a lot of like random pumping in just every room. Other players go for it. Looks like both of these players are mostly going for it. Save a couple frames here and there.
And we've got, other movement tech like clean door entries that we want to see to save frames. There's all kinds of different tech we can use to save frames in every room of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the fun things about this game is when you're learning the speedrun is you learn about how to enter doors correctly. Because you can just like very easily bleed 5 to 10 frames on every door in the game if you don't know what you're doing. And then you focus on it really hard in escape, and then the game gets a lot harder because you get items and boots and all this other stuff, but you just like actually still have to obsessively focus on every single door entry the whole time. It's great.
I noticed that PH had to dodge 2 enemies when trying to round the corner to the right. That was a bit surprising.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there. It didn't look like it went the way he was hoping it would, though.
All right, key rat coming up. Bread-kun gets a nice left side key rat. PH with the classic Seattle key rat.
Yeah, he gets the good boom strat that Ari is always trying to advocate for. Pretty hard to time that boom correctly, but it's the fastest way to handle that RNG, so nice work from PH. One nice time save in the Rando ROM is you can diagonal across this room instead of going to the corner like PH just did out of habit. In vanilla, there's a text box that appears if you don't walk to the corner first, but you can. There's no text boxes in Rando, so you can just cut the corner. So Bread-kun has a very, very mild lead coming out of the escape. I don't know, exactly 3 seconds or something. Very marginal in the scope of the whole run. Booming that guard, that's not necessary. You don't need to do that boomerang. I'll never get you.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah. I don't think I was really consciously aware that there was even an enemy on that screen.
Yeah. I think it aggroes sometimes and, looks frightening, but it's not.
PH getting a very clean Octorok screen. Red had to stop for a moment to kill one of them. Also killing that stunned Octorok. Not sure about that. So this screen is quietly one of the hardest and most annoying screens in the game. There's tons of RNG. You have to pump everywhere. It's so difficult.
Yeah, we didn't want to talk about it, but we have to. Because pumping on stairs really does save seconds. Yeah. Especially the way Link, just the advantage that it gives. It speeds Link up on manual stairs. And the stairs are quite lengthy on that screen.
Yeah. I don't think I saw either player going for stair drag cancels either, which is another way to, save 5 frames at the cost of having to do a million more inputs.
Yeah, it's a tough screen to practice because just getting those 5 to 10 frame, time savers, it's hard to measure when trying the room over and over again, and there's other things happening.
For sure. So Bread-kun messed up the strat in that room a little bit, had a pretty good save, but did allow PH to jump ahead to a tiny lead of his own.
And we're coming up to the anti-fairy skip at the big key, and our runners are in pretty good health. We do need at least 2 hearts to get through it.
True. This is the first big trick of the game, really. It probably won't look very big, but it's actually pretty difficult. We see PH there with slightly cleaner execution, but no trouble on either side, really. You're supposed to kill all the enemies in the room, and then the anti-fairies hiding the switch disperse, but you can just damage boost through them.
Alright, our runners have the bow, and they already have it equipped too, so they must have used the L button to switch from boom to bow.
Yeah, that's our first example of quick swapping, I think. Sometimes players just sort of mash the buttons when they're bored, but
yeah,
that's the first time it matters anyway. That's interesting from Bread. I don't think that was fast, but it was cool.
It was cool, and there's definitely potential there.
Yeah, there might be a way to save time with that.
And one way to look at that screen, the arrow pot refill screen, is to watch the anti-fairies and see how close they are, if they touch at all on your transition out of the room.
Right. PH here with a pretty standard our most quick kill. Looks like we're gonna get the same from Bread. That's our first dungeon down. Really, no big problems from either runner.
Yeah, no big problems. The back can be pretty dangerous if, you know, it's a speedrun attempt. Sometimes there's a reset there, but not today.
The back of Eastern Palace, like everything after you get the bow in Eastern Palace is like shockingly difficult to do fast.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one of those things that you see runners get good at kind of later because it's only a few seconds that you're losing, but it's so hard to get those seconds.
And our runners now have the boots, turning in the green pendant. And we see our first Japanese version 1.0 glitch, spin speed.
Very nice, both players first try spin speed. I would like to borrow some of that power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the game is really about the boots from here on out. This game, if you're used to the randomizer, this game is designed to be played with the boots for almost all of it. And you're going to see them dashing all over the place for the rest of the run. It's a lot faster and a lot more fun than having to hold the D-pad and pump everywhere. CPH not going for what is commonly referred to as unholy spin speed. We can see Bread going for it.
Nice.
Pretty difficult to save time with this strat.
Yeah, just a little wiggle, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, we can't do that.
Oh yeah, rough.
So we saw Bread try to go for a backup of missing the library shelf by dashing to the left. Seems like it should work, but doesn't.
No fair.
No, it's not.
I guess it makes sense because when you dash into the bookshelf from the bottom, the book falls above it, and if you dash it into it from the right, there's no room for it to fall on the left. So maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm. That's just physics.
That's just physics.
We have a splashy dashy from Bread-kun, and we want to align ourselves to not, dash through the water, but we don't have that kind of time in a menu switch because quick swapping does not give us any menu buffer to watch our position. So not every runner uses it anyway, but it's one of the challenges of vanilla preset.
Yeah, this is one of those places where there's no specific time where you need to menu to book in the vanilla game, so runners can choose to use it somewhere where they think that getting a moment to check their position in the middle of some action is valuable. And in preset, you don't really get any chance to do that. There's nowhere where the book is worth, where that chance to see where you are is worth so much time that you're willing to actually open the menu.
Now the torch is pretty crazy. You can bonk on it from below or from the side, or you can bonk the wall near it. It just wants to register that there's a bonk near it, I think.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly how it works. Bonks or like bonk checking is a little funny.
Yeah.
You can occasionally, it's possible to like hit bonk rocks by bonking off of a dead rock when you're not even next to the bonk rock sometime. The like hitbox is slightly overlaid.
Yeah. So ph is first to the gloves. How are they looking on rupees? It seems like they're both pretty rich this run.
Yeah, they've both got the red, I think. Bread actually went out of his way for it in Circle of Popos. I think ph just got it on his way, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so we're coming up on Landmolis. So I guess we should talk about boss seeding. Boss RNG is seeded, meaning that the landmo patterns that both players get will be the same. There are some caveats on that. It's like if you kill them in different cycles, then future jumps will look different. Not 100% certain on how all of that works. But we'll see them get the same landmo patterns, at least for the beginning of the fight and probably for the whole thing. And we'll get to see how they react to it. This is a super difficult boss fight. Always fun to see how people approach it. Okay, not a great start from ph. Pretty bad hop on the first worm and then missed an arrow. Okay, yeah. Oh, a little bit off on the timing on some of these is pretty punishing.
Meanwhile, Bread already has one worm down. Landmo's down for ph.
I think that was 6 cycles for ph. I'm not sure. Did you see how many it took Bread?
I didn't, but it was fewer than ph. I think.
Yeah, it looks that way. It looks like he caught up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, so escaping desert, ph does the strat that I like to do, which is to walk to the far right wall, nice and safe, and
Bread-kun showing off why the safe exit is better.
Yeah, and the way I think of it is ph kind of aligns with the beak of that monster that's in the sand. Is that a geoglyph, Fox?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I don't think so. I think it's one of those, I don't know if you found them yet, but there's skeletons, fossils as well. One of those.
Could be.
Neither ph nor Bread getting the setup correct for fake flippers. Bread with an insane just like walk straight to the pixel perfectly first try, back up.
Yeah.
That was sick.
No setup on that backup, but again, saving Bread-kun a little time over ph.
Yeah.
Oop. Bread-kun didn't have boom attack equipped for the sort of the pickle in the way, you know, and the arrow missed, unfortunately, so he had to walk around anyway.
Yeah. I'm of the opinion that shooting arrows in this segment is bad. I'm like really conservative with my arrow count though. It's probably fast in some scenarios, but I try to avoid it. This is probably the most important spin speed in the game. There's other contenders, but it might be this one. ph getting it second try Getting a little bit beat up, but not too bad.
Yeah, another contender is the other time that you're here.
Yeah, I think this one matters more just because you have fewer hearts, but they are definitely both very important. So our players are entering Hera now. This is a very volatile dungeon. The first half is like, well, the overworld is just awful. Then the first half of it is like pretty boring and easy. Oh, PH going for swag,
Nice.
rando stuff. Oh, but not going for the lobby dash. The lobby dash is so good with quick swap.
Yeah.
The lobby dash like almost breaks even on not doing it with a menu.
Bread-kun does it quite well.
Yeah. Down to 2 hearts though on Bread's side. That's not great, and I would expect him to hit the switch.
He does go for the boom dash, which is difficult. First of all, it's an item dash, which is A and Y on the same frame, but also you need a direction down on the same frame as well.
Yeah, you have to just kind of slam your whole controller at once. Oh, Bread. Okay, well, now maybe Bread will Death Warp instead of hitting the switch. We'll see what he opts for.
Yeah, this is a dangerous situation. We've got mold worms.
Yeah, Hera is a very dangerous dungeon. It's very easy to take damage just kind of from anything. And when you're at half a heart, well, you also need to bomb jump, which you're taking deliberate damage, so...
I love that Bread-kun does not Death Warp.
No, he's going for it.
Let's do this.
Maybe he'll hover. Is he a hoverer? Do you know?
I don't recall.
PH is a pretty strong hoverer, although he likes to pretend that he's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and PH shows us why the dungeon is so dangerous. Just picking up a pot just allows time to for a mini Moldorm to hit him in the back.
Yeah, mini Moldorms have extremely like unpredictable movement.
Here's a spin setup bomb jump for Bread-kun. He
Yeah.
was able to get the heart to enable the bomb jump in the first place.
Right, and he did hit the switch, so he can refill on hearts here.
Ah.
So PH is in his Moldorm fight. Good first couple hits. This is looking solid so far. Okay, getting a little bit baited by Moldorm there, but we're on to the last hit. Just gotta get through this one. Oh, rough.
That was a long dash and it didn't work out.
Yeah. This is a very, very difficult fight, and even if you do it right, you can just get destroyed.
Yeah.
Like Bread is showing off. He went for a perfectly reasonable dash and just got frame rolled.
All right, rage phase for Bread-kun. It's hard to catch this guy. There we go.
All right, nice.
And Bread-kun's the first out of Hera.
Yeah, that last hit Moldorm fall really evening things up. I don't think PH is excited about that. PH has a cam on, and he's not looking super thrilled about how that went.
Just the mood of Hera.
Right. Bread getting a clean spin speed out. PH not going for the spin speed. That spin speed is pretty good, but it's like pretty reasonable to skip it if you don't like the movement. It's easy to like go a couple frames too far and fall down and lose a lot of time, or get owned by the rock or the dead rock or whatever.
Ooh,
crazy dash cancel from Bread.
We had a wall hug.
Yeah. Both players going for true rupees. Bread-kun again trying to get fancy with the boomerang. I don't think it worked out for him, but
yeah.
If you pull that tree and then you kill 4 enemies and you don't get hit, and you pull another tree, you get 80 rupees out of it. Which we need to open pod. There are other ways to get those rupees, but both players opting to do this strat.
Oh, we have the mushroom pickup for Bread-kun,
Right.
and I wonder if he'll turn that in for powder or keep it as a fake powder. I assume
That's a
fake
good
powder,
question.
but we'll see.
Yeah, I would also guess fake powder, but I don't know.
Yeah, and as long as our runners have not taken any damage and killed 4 enemies, then they can earn 80 rupees from the last street pull.
Will Bread go?
No.
Oh my gosh! What?
How did it happen?
Okay, so does Bread know the courtyard backup? I'm hoping he does. That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty speedrun specific backup, and he's mostly a rando guy, so it's very possible
Yeah.
that he does not.
But I mean, I've been around this game a long time too, and I don't even really know it.
Oh,
I mean,
come on, Chex. All right, well, he's gonna get the
It's e-
rupees, but this is not, the strat with capital TS.
it's easy to forget because it's the backup.
Yeah.
But essentially, the main idea is kill 4 more enemies. They're gonna be all guards. Then pull the tree.
Well, one of them is the first bird, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There's like specific movement and stuff you can do to get guards to walk into your path and dash through them and stuff, but we made it work. Agate Tower, very...
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Oof.
This room sucks. Oh, and getting max punished.
Okay, so there's the fairy. So we will not see that fairy in Turtle Rock for PH at the moment that he wants to see them.
Looks like Bread also not going to fairy skip, but gets lucky.
Interesting.
So yeah, the player's showing off that this is a very technical and difficult split.
Yeah.
This room that Bread is just in now and PH just left is my pick for the worst room in the game.
Mm-hmm. What, you don't like getting poked by swords through the walls?
It's so dumb. I feel powerless in that room.
Yeah.
I can do anything I want and I still get poked half the time. Interesting. PH going for the key dash strat and then realizing that it didn't look right and bailing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think was a good call. Also opting to preserve an arrow here. So PSA, if that happens to you in Red Alert, you want to alternate between the guards that you slash. You want to slash up and then left and then up and then left. So they sort of run back towards you between slashes. Oh, wow. Bread just opting to use 4 arrows in Red Alert. That's interesting.
Nice. And on the center garden circle of pots.
This is a novel approach to ammo management.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we do have 6 arrows for pod, which is enough arrows for pod. And if you're not doing Meyer first route, then that's fine. I'm worried that Bread's gonna shoot some arrows at Aghanim at the rate he's been going.
All right, what's your blue ball guess, Fox?
Well, we saw 1 blue ball yesterday, so I don't want to put all of my money on 0, but
Okay.
hopefully 0.
All right, so no big RNG issue in this speedrun in Vanilla Preset. The 50/50s have been removed, and we'll just be watching the warps. See where Aghanim warps to.
Yeah. Yeah, how long, like how far he moves on his warp, like the warp distance actually does affect how long the fight takes. You can lose like multiple seconds to bad warps. It's pretty silly.
Always love when players mimic Aghanim when Aghanim's defeated.
Oh, like spinning around?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think Ajneb was the first I saw to do that.
So we're entering into pod now. There is a new route for this where you can do a bunch of major glitches that are allowed for some reason against my wishes and hover all over the place through all the rails in pod and save a bunch of time. I don't expect either player to do it. Again, I think PH is probably a good enough hoverer to do it if he really wanted to, but I doubt that he will in a race. So mostly we just pick up bombs and then mirror out.
Yeah. Like you mentioned earlier, Hammer Jump is coming up, and we won't have menu buffers for free. So we'll have to take our time, and we'll see how our runners deal with lining up for Hammer Jump, which is double pixel perfect. Not to the pixel, but to the axis.
Right. Yeah, I expect both players to use however many menu buffers it ends up requiring to be sure that they've got it. Hopefully only one or two. I don't remember what else I was going to say, but yeah.
Yeah, so here's Hammer Jump for PH.
1 pixel high, 1 pixel low. Here we go. All right, not too bad from PH. There's like 4 buffers, I want to say.
Something like that, and he corrected his movement with a sword buffer at the end with an additional check of pausing, which is a good way to control Link's movement.
Yeah.
Or
Red
Rocco's.
going for a sword out lineup, which is interesting. Also makes it across pretty well. First try, just a couple buffers. PH doing the same sword out thing in a different use case. You move a little slower with your sword out, so it can allow you to make repositioning a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
See Bread doing it there again.
Huh. Didn't realize
PH.
that was a thing.
It's pretty common for that arrow lineup. That's kind of a difficult one to
It is, yeah.
get used to, I think. Red now needs arrows. Yeah, okay. Just grabbing all of them. All right.
Yes. Why not?
Oh, and he hit the switch?
Oh, well, I didn't see that part.
He also doesn't have beams. Did he skip the heart pot? Or did he get
Not
hit?
sure.
I didn't see. Probably skipped the heart pot. I also didn't notice if the big magic dropped for PH or not.
Oh, right. So that chance occurs at the mini Helma on the bridge.
Right.
It would be nice to save that for TR too.
It would be very nice to save that for TR, although if you get it, it makes it somewhat plausible that you can wrap around to the second ferry.
Another situation is that if you miss the ferry, you might plan for a backup of mirroring out of the roller room, and in that case, you get a free big magic.
Red going for some bomb hits on Helma. I think only got one.
Ah. Yeah, that's something I wanted to play with.
Yeah, it seems like it might be good, but 2 bombs is like not that fast to get. So I think it'd be... I'm skeptical that it saves time, but it'd be cool.
All right, so PH is first out of pod, and we've got a long overworld to get to Thieves Town now. Not the second dungeon in number, but the second one that we go to in the speedrun.
The second one in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
So in vanilla, this is the longest. Oh,
Wow. An immediate Ropa hit for Bread.
perfect. In vanilla, this is the longest overworld. I don't know if that's still true in this. I assume so. I don't think there's a lot of text or anything. But it's a very long trip, and so Bread took some damage, which is like, you don't want to take damage, obviously, but Thieves Town isn't a super dangerous dungeon, mostly because the boss has a script, so we can just like always, assuming that you don't mess up, you won't take any damage from the boss. So generally you're not too worried about taking chip damage here. Also somehow got a heart back from something, so I guess that's convenient.
I didn't see, but I did see that Bread slashed a guard. So maybe it was then.
That would make sense.
And let's see how our runners catch the floaty flute.
Bread just sends it off to the left.
Hey, it's an easy catch.
Yeah. This is another contender for the most important spin speed in the game, by the way.
Yeah, it helps us get past the fastest guard in Hyrule.
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know, the fast red guards are placed all over the map after Aghanim's defeated. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yo, a boom to get past the
He's
three
just booming
musketeers.
everything, man.
I love it.
He boomed Usain Bolt, too.
Ah.
PH doing a little dance outside Thieves Town by accident. It's like one pixel away from the door when he tried to pull it.
All right, so PH is now in Thieves Town. Takes a bonk in a bad place because that is a punishment of turning into Spunky.
Yes. And everyone knows that you do not want to be Spunky in Thieves Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very punishing bonk. Managed to avoid like taking any damage or anything, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Bread-kun with the right side strat, dashing up after big key.
PH with kind of an interesting hellway.
Gets back to the middle.
Yeah, got a little blocked, but made it back to the middle and found a clean dash out. So it went okay in the end. That's a pretty dumb room where like what you want to do is do a frame perfect dash cancel and then also get lucky. Bread-kun showing off exactly what I just described.
Excellent.
Just
So
killing the grasshopper for fun.
Yeah, normally we would see a switch to hammer. I mean, we would just have hammer equipped. So we often see runners kill the cricket with a hammer.
Mm-hmm. PH booming that guy instead of hammering him. That's actually probably good. I should try that.
Ah.
In my one remaining run of this category.
Mm-hmm. 1 more week, 10 more frames saved.
You have to boom him again. How does 2 booms compare to moving over and hammering? It's probably like exactly the same.
Each
Bread-kun is
able to
gonna
squeeze through.
spend all day dodging fireballs to pick up 2 hearts.
Mm-hmm. He's defying the rules of A Link to the Past, where if you go for a heart, you take a heart of damage.
Yeah. So PH showing off the blind script here. This fight looks pretty chaotic if you're not initiated, but it's all well understood. PH's movement will avoid the fireballs in the heads every time.
There's nothing really to seed with this boss's RNG, because there is no RNG.
Yeah, I think there is RNG if it goes off the rails, but I don't know. I read Can's dissertation about it, but I don't remember it all. Red is not doing the script. But he survives, and Blind doesn't.
Yeah, that's a win.
That's a win. That is a spleef catch. So, Spleevy pointing out that the guard came back anyway. If you kill an enemy and then leave the room before they're like done dying, they aren't actually dead. And when they're done dying is like insanely long after you kill them. This happens a lot in Swamp when you're dashing out of the room with the 3 enemies. You often dash through the Stalfos and he's never dead on the return. So it's probably that.
And we have Bread-kun mirroring in front of the smiths. Sort of a less commonly seen method these days.
PH not opting for Muffin's Dash.
Respectable.
I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I don't know how this strat compares to Blank Smiths and Rando. It basically ties. It's like very, very close in vanilla, and I don't know how the differences. Oh, bread
needs to get money.
Oh,
yeah, bread needs
okay.
money for Zora. Yeah, so bread remembers after 1 transition.
Yeah, not too bad.
So I didn't really see how the mummy room went for PH, but he got through it pretty quick.
Yeah,
one
I
of
was
those
busy panicking.
Yeah, it's one of those worst rooms on the worst rooms list, but it works out in your favor sometimes.
PH opting to mirror out instead of going for the falling in a pit strat. Oh, Brad accidentally pushing the statue the wrong way.
Yeah, this is definitely something I can get on board with, booming the mummies. Because they get stunned.
They do. Mummy room is very difficult. It's one of those things that it's like... It's more in your control than you want to think when you're new to the game, but it's like very, very difficult.
What do you think about that fire snake hitting PH on the way out the door?
Oh, I missed it.
Seems unfair.
That room is like super unfair. The first room of the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fire snake, it can just cost you so much time, and it is just not your fault. Nothing that happens in there is your fault, basically.
I appreciate that.
ph into Moth, a semi-seated boss fight. The conveyor is not seated, but the boss movements are.
Yeah, one thing I haven't been watching. Oh, that was a nice fight. 4 spikes. And Moth is down. One thing I had not really been watching in this tournament is the floor movement. So PH had a downward movement, but we won't necessarily see that on Bread-kun's side.
Right. And PH showing off in that fight. If you hit Moth into a spike, then Moth doesn't take any damage, with some caveats. But if you hit him into one of the spikes that's moving, so like the wall spikes and the spikes that are in action moving across the room behave differently. So PH there for the last hit Moth into a spike that doesn't overwrite the damage and make Moth not take any damage. Which is a good thing to know about when you're doing the fight.
Wow.
Oh, pretty good fight from Bread too. Nice.
That was nice. And that was that was non-standard. Because Bread-kun starts with a leftward slash.
Yeah, that was new to me.
Yeah, what happened to make that very convenient for Bread was that the Moth hung out on the left side next to the block. And if you see the shadow left or right of the block, then you know that it's susceptible to slashes.
I'm so skeptical of that claim.
Okay, well, try it yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't really understand the horizontal lineups of Moth, honestly.
Yo,
Okay, so we have some route
pupils.
divergent. Rocco's what?
Rocco's pupils get really big during the ether animation.
Oh, I missed it. So PH opted to pick up the bird and not throw it. A bird carry, I guess. I don't know how I feel about this.
Bread-kun getting lotteried.
Bread-kun did get lotteried. Where is he going? Is he going to Ice Palace?
You'll find out.
No way, right? It must be Swamp.
I think there's very little chance that we're going to Ice Palace. What we want for Ice Palace is Cane of Samaria.
Right.
And that's why we're seeing Meyer on PH's side.
Carrying the bird. So there's a very, very old. There are legends from back in the day. In the days of our forefathers, there was a meme where people would pick up the bird and throw it, and it was called bird toss. And so PH picked up the bird, but then didn't throw it. So he didn't do a bird toss. He just did half of the meme.
Well,
So
it's a new meme.
I guess so. That's a stupid fireball on Bread's screen. All right, it just waits it out. Was half a meme? I guess a me.
Thank you, Fox.
Nobody has to acknowledge what DoomTap said, just to be clear.
All right, so Bread-kun is fluting away.
Oh!
So we get to choose a dungeon.
Oh, right. This makes sense if you're going to Swamp instead of Ice. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can do Swamp before Mire, which is a little safer. You get the hook shot and an extra heart for Mire. I've mostly seen people go for this where they do some kind of complicated water walk thing that I haven't really paid that much attention to. But Bread is just sort of doing the vanilla route and then fluting over here. Oh, and stopping for bombs. Interesting.
Yeah, it is nice. In vanilla preset, we get to skip a text box. And even 2 text boxes are skipped compared to the North American release.
The North American release is like every text box has like 1 word on the next line. It's so miserable.
Yeah, it is. I think when I was a kid, I found that annoying because it's every time you pick up bombs, it tells you how to use bombs in case you haven't figured it out already.
Yeah. Thank you, Spleeby. Yeah. There's a couple places where, like in Thieves Town Attic, there's a chest with bombs in it where you have to do that. And I'm pretty sure that the reminder text is just there on all of them so that it could be there to remind you in Thieves Town Attic.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So PH just did a bunch of stuff, and now he's going to do Vitreous, which is a very, very scary boss if anything goes at all wrong. There is a very reliable way to get through it, which PH just did a pretty good job of. But everything does 4 damage in here, except for the acid on the floor. So if you mess it up at all, then you're just in so much trouble.
I wasn't scared at all, but that's thanks to the mellow music coming from PH's MSU pack.
He did it a little weird, and I was a little bit nervous. But the music is very chill, so that helped. I thought lightning is 2 hearts, but I don't know. You should never get hit by lightning.
Right. Incidentally, Aghanim's lightning is also 2 hearts of damage.
Are they the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
The same. I don't know in terms of the coding of the game, but it looks the same and deals the same damage.
Right.
All right, so now we have a Quake route for PH, and hopefully the Ropas are kinder to him.
PH just got a massive gold in Misery Mire, by the way.
Nice.
Minus 5.6 on gold.
Oof. Sociable Firebar is very sociable for Bread-kun.
Yeah,
although
that's definitely a whole party.
Yeah. Bread-kun might want to look into the movement where you push the block, then move down.
Yeah. So Bread is going to show off our first band and NMG trick in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 screens here. Diver down to just basically skip a couple rooms in the back of Swamp. He doesn't have the cane yet, so he'll be doing it with bombs. PH will probably be doing it with cane later, unless he doesn't, just to mess with me.
And PH is picking up flippers. Alright, so here's bomb diver down for Bread-kun, a bomb to the right, and very nice. Even picking up hearts here, which is pretty helpful at this point for Bread, going from 4 to 6.
Yeah, you're definitely going to take a hit from at least one Felp, and you don't really want to be an Oko going into Argus. It's really easy to get hit by something on Argus. Oh, he's just stopping for everything in Restock Room 2.
Everything
Playing
but the
safe.
bomb.
Yeah, well, he got the damn bomb, so he's way up on bombs.
Oh, that's right. Another thing we saw from PH in Zora's Domain was stopping Link's movement before the transition, and that can save on lag.
Right. PH showing off a quick swap strat there, where you quick swap to Boomerang to pick up that key a little faster, and then you lose control of your character and lose more time than you saved.
Uh-huh.
Classic. Oh, Brett's gonna get hit. Yeah. Argus has a hitbox while he's moving upwards, by the way. My goodness. All right. Whew.
Okay, here's an ice thing for PH. Easy.
Ice thing. Yeah. Nice thing.
Yeah. Icebreaker or door state extension allows Rocco to just pass through that barrier.
Yep. This is another minor glitch. Keck W. Oh, never mind. He didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So Bread is off to get Ether. I guess PH must have done this and I was paying attention to something else. But getting Ether in the Mire segment is... A lot of people try to avoid this because if you take any damage on Death Mountain, which you often do, it costs you Sword Beams in Mire, which is pretty painful. PH now falling into the Cold Stare fight. Similar to Vitreous, there's a strat that solves this fight, and it's quite precise, and if you mess it up, then you're in a room with something where everything hits very hard. Nope, very clean. Very clean from PH. Nice fight.
Nice fight. Red now opening Misery Mire. Do we get memes? We do. We get Bird Toss.
The meme finished. The meme that PH started, Bread finished. I'm spelling finished with a PH, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
PH is getting Ice Rod in Swamp?
Yes! Exclamation point.
Do you have any thoughts or feelings about this?
Well, my thought is you save a lot of time with Hookshot when you get Ice Rod. So if we did go to Swamp first, then we could save some frames in that cave.
Yeah, that's true. I think not everybody has noticed that. But the Hookshot actually speeds up that room a lot. Oh yeah, getting a super cool movement from that Octorok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just a pal of that guy.
Just really wanted to say hi. So, in the Mire torches, I always check the timer when I light it or when anybody else does, but it does not mean anything to me in this mode. I don't even know what my torches times are with the rat I do in this mode, much less whatever Bread's on.
Yeah. In the NMG speedrun, we know it as a time with Ice Rod or a time without Ice Rod. And here, there's
69 variations, yeah.
Yeah. You might not even have Quake.
Right. PH waving at the camera, unclear why, but hello. Maybe someone's in his chat. I can see his stream manager on his webcam because he has the most cursed streaming setup of anyone in the community, but I can't actually read chat from here, unfortunately.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, and then I remembered. There it is on the laptop screen.
Yeah. Ethan's setup is pretty cursed. Ethan does it on purpose, though, I think. And also, he's not in this community, so I'm gonna wait for him to actually stream a Link to the Past rando before he counts as a competitor.
I think SMZ3 counts.
Oh god.
Yo, Bread-kun.
Yo, Bread doing the Brahmin strat.
Yes, that is a bonk down and then a hook shot to the left.
Oh, another cool fire snake on PH's side. So Bread doing spooky now, and I caught it before it was over. So this is a strat where the fire rod is it has the fire rod projectile, and then there's also like a secondary hit that's offset. And the amount that it's offset by, we can control that with the flute or other stuff, but in this case, the flute. And it allows us to hit an off-screen switch there. Bread stood a little too close to the sun there. This might work. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, you have to be able to use powder. There we go.
All right, there we go.
I forgot to think about that. Yeah, Bread-kun keeping the mushroom, enabling fake powder opportunity.
I'm not comfortable with this fight at all. Okay, but we made it through.
And Vitreous is down for Bread-kun.
Yeah, so the players are getting close to where they'll resynchronize.
Mm-hmm. Synchronizing.
There's a word, synchronizing, ... There's a word that I mean that I can't think of. Bread has all of ice to do. PH has like the last half of swamp to do. Bread is, I don't think, has ice red yet. So I think PH has a significant lead here, but I don't really know. Converge, thank you, Twin. See, Twin should have comped this.
I agree. All right, what is PH doing?
Oh, he's diving down. Oh, he's doing the right side diver down. Oh, he's picking up the pot. Nobody tell Tam.
Yeah, it's funny there are 4 different strats there, basically. 2 with bomb, 2 with block.
Or you can just uncle jump it.
Yeah, of course. Why didn't I say that first? Yeah, no, we're not doing one frame movements.
Good ice thing from Bread as well.
Excellent.
There's a funny clip that Yuzu once showed off of doing a diver down with just sort out hooks to get the one frame movements.
Oh. I'm not aware of that.
It's basically the same as uncle jumping. It's just using the hook shot to interrupt your motion.
All right, so PH kills Argus at the top of the screen. Is there a reason for that, Fox?
There is a reason for that. It might save a little bit of time on the crystal catch.
Incidentally, both runners picked up Big Key in Ice Palace, which is the meta for this route, and it means we need to use a Samaria block at the end, so we have to make sure we have enough magic, but our runners do not have problems.
PH going for Waffle House drive-through there, but oh, okay, no, Bread has beams. Whew. I'm so scared. Okay.
Wow.
That was ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, Bread.
So, Bread definitely took care of Cold Stare at the end. There was one that was really speedy. But
yeah.
He slashed that thing.
He was walking left and he turned around and got what must have been a frame perfect slash off to not die.
Meanwhile, PH dealing with dead rocks.
PH opting to menu here. I think this is a pretty reasonable place to menu. That screen is pretty awful without a menu. So it looks like Bread is going to be about 2 minutes behind. It was just about a 102 when PH landed on the mountain, so we can check Bread's time when he lands. But PH has a pretty good advantage going into the last couple dungeons here. Unfortunately for him, that advantage is not even a little bit safe because everything in these dungeons is constantly out to kill you and cost you 3 minutes. And he doesn't even have the fairy drop coming up.
Yeah. So, torches can be a little different from runner to runner. Let's see what PH does. PH goes with the quick swap and hook below.
Oh, Bread with a very nice Waffle House drive-through.
Excellent.
Matt78 Waffle House. PH opts to mirror out to preserve some hearts here. I think that's pretty reasonable when you know the fairy's not coming.
And there's the full magic. Alright, Chomp's coming up.
No drops in Pokey 0 because that Pokey just does not drop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about that Pokey, but it never drops for me.
One day.
One day.
One day.
Maybe in my final race.
Alright, PH with 11 arrows picks up the arrow pot and TR. Now at 16.
Yep. That's pretty reasonable.
Oh!
Oh, does that work? That would be pretty cute.
Yeah, I had no idea about that, but yeah, that could work.
I assume punted ones. So if you throw a Cane of Samaria block onto one of those question marks, it turns into a platform. I'm guessing punted ones also work. I don't actually know, but I assume Bread wouldn't have punted it if it just didn't work. I had no idea that you could throw Samaria blocks onto those things until I played Gerudo Exile.
Mm-hmm.
Surely this time it'll work. Nope.
Rats.
Next time.
Okay, nice. Pokeys 2 for PH gets a backup with the Fire Rod to deal with the Pokey on the other side.
Oh, Pokeys. Yeah, there's some stuff in Gerudo Exile for sure. We can see Bread also getting 0 drops in Pokeys because, again, those Pokeys do not drop items.
Complete boomerang chomps for Bread-kun. I don't know why I did not expect that.
He is really likes the boomerang, it seems. Getting hit by the Pokeball there, if you're Pokeball. If you don't nudge the right wall there, then you sometimes get hit by a Pokeball. If you do nudge the right wall, you should always be safe.
Yeah, we did see the Pokeball earlier when Bread was on his way to Hera. Because that's the bunny sprite, if you didn't notice.
Thank you for showing it off again. Beautiful synchronicity. Will we get True Blue frames? No. Shout out to my boy True Blue.
And those frames are when you press A, as soon as you exit the pipe, you can resume walking speed immediately after poofing.
Yeah, it like lets you skip the end of the poof animation or something. It also works. It works anytime you're unpoofing, but it's like impossible to time it. When you don't have something like a pipe exit to time it for you.
Yeah. Alright, try next for PH. First phase, no problem.
Good phase 2. Red opting not to use Boomerang in Crystal Roller.
There we go.
Kind of thought he would. Um.
Oh,
Oh, we went the wrong direction.
yeah. Bread went to the left by accident.
Yeah, that usually happens when you're just like, oh, this room is automatic, and then you don't pay attention to it, and you're not holding the direction when you need to.
Yeah, that's fairly costly. PH does have a nice lead going into Ganon's tower.
PH, meanwhile, is minus 0.0 on his PB.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is significant. Oftentimes, I don't know how it is for other runners, but I use splits where I know the boss seed RNG, and that allows pretty artificial boss kills.
Oh, like
so,
a Maggot 2 and Lambo
yeah.
and so on.
So to be ahead of PB is pretty good. Not ahead, but it's tied exactly to the 10th of a second.
Great. Well, he had a couple of golds in the mid game, which definitely helped. Not going for spike skip. I hate to see it.
Yeah, that is a very difficult strat when we don't have a menu buffer.
To be fair, it's pretty difficult even with the menu buffer.
This is true.
Bread, unfortunately, getting a 2-cycle from the middle head. I wasn't watching very closely, but it looked like he got a short movement, and so got a second one.
Huh.
Go on.
Bread fought Trinex from the front, so can you 1-cycle that way?
You absolutely can. It's RNG dependent if you're doing it from the front.
I see.
Obviously, the better you do it, like you can increase your odds of 1-cycling, but if you get bad luck, it can just 1-cycle you, 2-cycle you, sorry. PH getting totally blindsided by that anti-fairy. I think his strat went a little sideways and he didn't notice in time. I'm pretty sure he can just pick up the small magic and be fine though.
Right.
Good Ice Armos. Ice Armos is so weird in this ROM hack because it's much laggier. The Rando ROM is laggier overall in a lot of places, but there's only a handful of places where it really feels bad, and Ice Armos is one of them.
We had a few frames of a high five with both runners in lobby at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a couple of slowdown differences between the Rando ROM and the vanilla game, and the lag from sprites and enemies is one thing. Another thing is the loading that occurs in the overworld.
Yes, especially the mushroom.
And the cursed mushroom.
It feels so bad. It also occurs on like the Hera heart piece and the dam item and stuff, but those,
yeah, desert.
Yeah, those are mostly just sort of dashing past, and so it doesn't interrupt your flow.
Right.
PH into the gauntlet here. Having a little trouble in gauntlet 2. This is, I think, the hardest room in the gauntlet. But none of them are very easy. This is pretty bad luck in gauntlet 3.
It is hard, and there's a hard strat in addition to the RNG.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different options to go for. Yo, the arrow.
Yeah, PH is one of the runners who does that arrow even in rando. I've noticed he seems pretty willing to just like use a menu here and there, either to maybe preserve muscle memory or just make things easier for himself, which I think is a pretty good approach to this. Like I personally will try hard every screen, more or less, not using menus, and it's definitely easier to lose more time than you save.
Yo, the
having
quick
some trouble
kill
with Ice Armos. Yeah, did get a quote-unquote quick kill. Do you think that will affect Ganon bats?
Oh yeah, that was a little long. It might. I couldn't tell.
I think it will. I think if they're done with the circling phase, then you're gonna get effects, but I'm not totally certain.
Doom's tap says capital M, capital no.
Okay. Alright, ph successfully does not quadrant glitch or jingle glitch, sorry. Which is possible in this ROM.
Even quadrant glitch is possible, but that's pretty rare on that screen. I've seen it one time ever.
Oh. Which, I guess because you do something silly on Fusda Bridge and then you notice it. Yeah, wow. Oh, yeah. That happened to Ace Zero. There's a great clip of it.
Yeah, that was Ace Zero.
Yeah. It does take you to a very special room. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, there are
no, Doom, I don't want to bet on it. You're probably right.
There are bad glitches in this game, at least for no glitch, randomizer and NMG speedruns.
There's no bad glitches. There's only bad applications.
There you go.
Very friendly first pattern from Aga 2. So this looks like it'll be a pretty comfy 3-cycle. Please don't make me feel bad about saying that. Okay, nice. Yeah, that quadrant glitch takes you to the death room, Twin. The death room is a room that tries to load 65,000 chests, immediately loses its mind, and crashes the game.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be in that room.
No, that's a mild way of putting it. Oh wow, Bread just getting a totally unfair frame rule on the second bridge room there. Or the first bridge room, I mean. That's one of those things that's just very rare, but totally out of your control. Yeah, Mr. Buyer has actually run a meme category where the rules are that you have to get to death room as fast as possible.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that today, as I do. And I want to run that too.
Of course you do. Why is the other one called Fusda Bridge? Because a player named Andrew fell on it in a totally unrelated to the frame rule, like 69 years ago.
All right, so
ph
is in the Ganon's fight, doing well so far. Going into phase 4, he really wants the torch glitch, gets it with lamp, very nice.
Yeah, this should be a pretty clean victory for PH from here. Even again in fall, he should still be in the lead. That's not a triple. Yeah, going for the slash for fun, but didn't quite get it. Should be, what, 2 more spins? I definitely wasn't counting. There we go. That's it for PH. GG's to him. Bread will be finishing up his last 2 boss fights here as well.
Nice fight for Bread.
I was looking up the Fusda Bridge link, but I'm guessing it went pretty similarly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think that's a PHB.
Yeah, it looks like it. We'll have to ask if PH is up for an interview.
Yeah, he said he'll be coming in a moment, but needs to get ready first. We can see him. He got up from his chair.
Uh-huh.
All we can see is the laptop.
Yeah, PH has to physically travel to the commentator's booth.
Yeah, he's actually coming over to my place. He only lives like 300 miles from me. Oh, I think Bread did not realize that he got the first phase down and was expecting Ganon to warp away and got a little surprised there. That's my interpretation of the events. I could definitely be wrong.
Alright, so Ganon's at the top left. This can be pretty tricky to deal with. Let's see if Bread can get out of here unscathed. There was some scathing.
You don't need to be too scathing in our commentary, though.
I hope I wasn't.
I don't think so. All right, I'm going to bring PH in. GG, PH.
Congrats on the win.
Oh, hello.
Hello, congrats. And I believe that was also... Oh, no. Okay. Whew, I thought Bread might die to that bird. Was that also a PB?
It was, yeah, thank you. A classic... a classic fall Tim Oldham PB, right?
Classic, yeah. That's called the Pinkus.
All right, important question, PH. Do you split and then done, or done and then split?
I have an auto splitter, so
of course.
I only have to worry about the done. I'm a cheater.
Perfect. Excellent.
Oh man, yeah, that was yeah. So I didn't look in the. I didn't check. How did Bread's run go? I didn't follow it at all. I just kept the ZSR closed the whole time.
I think it went okay. I only had a couple heart attacks.
Yeah.
Most notably on Cold Stare, which was insane that he survived what happened in Cold Stare.
Oh no.
But
right, I
think okay. Hopefully he'll join us. And tell us about it, but it went. I think it went okay.
Yeah, that's when that fight gets out of hand, that gets scary.
Yeah, there were a couple money related issues. That's true. We had a tree pull issue, and we also forgot C-shaped house, just for one screen.
Oh no. Oh,
he went right back, but
that's okay. No, that's such a I feel like I would get so tilted by that so easily.
Same here.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I would just not make any mistakes personally.
Yes, that's definitely in my experience the only ones I've ever watched of yours.
Exactly. Thank you.
With you operating very, very pleased with how well you're doing the entire time.
Thank you for confirming. Hello.
Hi. I was in the wrong waiting room. Whoops.
Well, you're here now. GG.
GG's, dude.
Jeez.
GG, Bread. So, how are you feeling about your run?
I think that's something that went wrong about every dungeon. Nothing, every single time was nothing critically wrong, but something wrong regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Classic.
You almost, talk about critical. So Fox mentioned he had only a couple of heart attacks, one of which was at Gold Stair.
Oh, yeah,
That was pretty scary for both of us.
For one, I don't know where that right input came from, I'll be perfectly honest. I was holding up on my D-pad, and somehow it inputted a right. No idea what the hell happened there.
That was not the scariest thing that happened in that fight.
Oh, yeah.
You were like 1 pixel away from taking a lethal hit from a puff after you broke the shell, too.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I was confident. If I walk and say, as long as I say it'll be fine, don't think about it. Just do it. It'll just work out.
Honestly,
somehow.
That's probably a pretty good motto, though, because it's like if you start thinking. I mean, at least for me, if I start thinking, that's when everything goes very sideways. Thinking is clearly not my strong suit. So it's like, just do it. Just don't think. That's probably the best way.
So a pixel away from death? Sure, maybe, but nah, it'll be fine. It's fine.
And how about that moth fight?
That went really fast, actually.
Yeah,
That was
pretty
fast.
good.
I was like, what was it? Yeah, Skullwoods went well. And Desert went decently well. Decently okay.
Mm-hmm. And did you look... Have you looked into the double poke dash you can do in the moth fight? It might be something to look into if you haven't.
I have not. I'll be honest, I barely know any NMG strategies. I just joined this and started just kind of doing things. Like,
Yeah.
I hope this works.
Yeah, it's great to see, for sure.
Yes, you do clearly have a lot of non-traditional strategies.
I think, and also that kind of gives weight to Bread, how really good you are. Like, I can almost guarantee that I have put in way more time in like just the traditional NMG run, but you're just a lot of kind of like enough familiarity with just how to play the game well allows you to be, really competitive, even without like all the history and run practice, which is wild. It's super impressive.
Me learning NMG has been more or less kind of things I remember from watching other people do things and sort of mimicking occasionally, or try to mimic and then it doesn't work and get confused and try to just do something anyway.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I feel like that's how a lot of us kind of learn.
Yes.
I mean, there's some amazing materials, but it's still kind of like, all right, watch this video tutorial, try and do it, fail, try it again, fail, then either give up or keep at it until something clicks.
So something eventually works.
I've watched probably 4 any % NMG tutorials, and it's still fun to just go through rooms and try new movements each time, just to see if you can improve here and there.
When is the checks any % NMG tutorial coming out?
That's not happening. You'll see a glitch.
Checks, what is it going to take?
That's what we need to get you the 124.
You have a point, yeah. I know Greenham improved after doing his tasks. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not the route that I'll be taking.
That means we'll see the checks RMG tutorial then, right? Or something.
Sure, why not?
Somebody really should make an ADRMG tutorial, but I don't want to.
Yeah, or any %.
Yeah.
And how are you all feeling about vanilla preset?
I like it. I think it's a good change up. I think it's always tough too, because there are times like I had a couple like this Mire was I was booking it and there wasn't
enormous gold.
Yeah, and part of that too, right, is that like we don't have the same number of attempts, so like some of these golds aren't very good, but still I came out of that and I was like, that went really well. I kind of wish I'd saved that for an NMG run, like.
Right.
But at the same time, the practice is invaluable, because there's no doubt in my mind that practicing with this has helped, and it's a little bit easier sometimes because it's just a little bit less commitment time-wise. It's a little bit more quality of life. You do lose a couple things, right, and the route is a little different, but like I don't know about Brett, if you do Mire early or if you do Swamp early, but just for me, doing Mire early has helped me immensely with the vanilla NMG Mire, because it's so much less scary. It's like, oh, I have so many more hearts and I have a hook shot. What's the problem?
Yeah, I did Swamp early for this. That's because I enjoy that hook for both going up the mountain a little tiny bit quicker for Ether, and just being able to use it in Mire in a couple rooms is handy.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think the swamp route is great. It's probably partially just stubbornness too. It's like, it's fine. I'm doing it this way. We'll keep doing it. It's probably not better on average like, I think it's faster, right? Slightly, but it's like, feels maybe a little less safe than the swamp route. But I like it.
I think the current consensus is that Mire first narrowly edges out Swamp first, but I'm not really on top of things.
Find that hard to believe.
I just parrot whatever Aerie says, basically.
Yeah, we need to do timings.
I know Bitey and Yoho and Matt and Yarak have all looked into it. I think you're right, Fox. That's what I've heard as well, and I feel like they would. Consensus probably has at least some idea. Checks
probably. Yeah.
There's nothing like. I mean, if the Checks NMG tutorial includes some rando NMG timing, that would be a great kind of little additional video part of it. I think
that would be a head scratcher, but sure.
Yeah, you need to do. It's like the Andy tutorial from the old days where he did gold silver's route, and tempered route, but you have to do like all combinations of preset mid game.
Yeah, with a game saver.
Right. Yeah.
I'd watch.
All right, are we good to wrap up?
Yeah, thanks again to our runners.
Yeah. Thanks to runners, and thanks to Ricky for putting this on last minute.
Yeah, Ricky, really appreciate it. Also, I think this is the final week of our season, right?
Yep.
So huge thanks as always, Fox, to you for helping set up the NMG League. This is kind of your thing, and it's amazing. I think it's awesome to get people out and keep playing this game.
Yeah, I'm glad people like it. And PH is actually an admin this season, so thanks to him.
Oh,
Doing a lot more work.
Don't tell people that. Don't tell people that. This is all a disaster.
All right. So yes, thank you to Bread-kun and PH for doing the awesome race. Thank you to Fox, Lesk, and Checks Human for commentating. I put everyone's links in the chat. Please give everybody a follow. That's going to do it for ZSR tonight. Coming up tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, we have another NMG League match between Baiday and Doomtap. And at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Welkin versus Checks Human. Then on Friday, we have Matt7898 versus Gem. So quite a few hype matches remaining in this tournament. Hope you find something you want to watch. And with that, we're going to go and sign off here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful time and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!